Good morning, ladies. Good morning, and welcome to day two. Welcome to day two of the Girl Get Your Business Right Challenge. I'm so excited for you guys this morning. How did you guys enjoy yesterday? Chantel and Michelle were awesome. If you can, in the comments, go ahead and type something that you got out of yesterday. What were some like big aha moments or some great takeaways, something that you're going to implement into your business? If you can go ahead and put that in the comments and let us see what you guys are, what did you pull? What did you get? What are you going to change in your life? So, as I said yesterday, every morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern, I'm going to come live and give you guys some morning motivation. So, today's morning motivation is um, around the imposter syndrome. Like, what is that? Have you guys heard of that? Have you guys, if you've heard of the imposter syndrome, go ahead and type number one. What is, I actually got the definition here, and some of you guys might be able to relate. So, I'm going to talk about the imposter syndrome and the importance of living in the now. So, what is the imposter syndrome? So, the imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud despite your education, your experience, and your accomplishments. I'm gonna read that again. Feelings of self-doubt and incompetence, feeling like a fraud despite your education, experience, and accomplishments. If you, and no judgment, because we all be there at times. If you can relate to that, go ahead and type two. If you can relate to that, I can relate to that sometimes. And um example, my mentor Lola just told me, I think it was last week, she was like, I'm so proud of you, you're doing an amazing job. And like, she gave me this accomplished compliment. And in the moment, it was hard for me to accept it. And like, what, really? Like, you think so? Because we're so hard on ourselves, right? We have this feeling of the inadequacy. Like, it don't feel like I'm doing a good job. It don't feel like, I feel like this is like fake or whatever. Like, the feelings of, it feels like you're being a fraud. It feels like you're not doing a good job, you're not smart enough, or you're not like the person over there, you're not like the person over there. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. And how do we stop that? Like, these are feelings that just come to us. And this is what we were talking about when I had the session with Chantel. We have to listen to those positive affirmations. We have to fill our mind with positivity and get out that stinking thinking. We have to, because on its own, we get this now syndrome that they gave it a term, the feelings that it says. And also, it mostly affects women who are accomplished. I read that somewhere. I don't even remember where I read that from, but for the most part, it's women who are successful who feels like this. You feel like a fraud. You feel like you're not doing a good job. You feel like you're incompetent. That's not right. That's not your truth. That's not real. Our feelings are not always right. So, positive affirmations are important. Listening to them, reading books. Like I said, right now we're reading the No Excuses, but a few months ago we read the Miracle Morning, and one of the one of the, I can't remember the one of the things that he outlined. He calls them something. But one of the things that he outlined was positive affirmations. Part of your routine in the morning should be saying positive affirmations. I want to add also, part of your routine at going to sleep should be positive affirmations. So, positive affirmations when you wake up, positive affirmations when you go to sleep. And so, I want to read one of the positive affirmations. I actually have it saved to my phone because I read it every morning. It's a part of my miracle morning. A power saver, that's what he calls it, a power saver. So he has different power savers. And I'm gonna read one. I'm gonna read the one about self-confidence. And this is actually inside the group. So if you like Google or not Google, put in a search and put self-confidence, this should come up. It's I think 5 different or 10 success affirmations, but I want to read the one on self-confidence. So it says, so when you go and search this, I want you guys to print it out, put it somewhere that you can read it to yourself every single day. I actually copy this and send it to my daughters in a group text in the morning so that they can read it. You know, they're teenagers, they're not going to post it anywhere or whatever. So I send it to them so that they can read it in the morning. So it says, I am just as worthy, deserving, and capable of achieving everything that I want in every area of my life as any other person on earth. So just like anybody else, you're just as worthy. You're just as capable and deserving of achieving success. The only thing that separates me from the most extraordinary life I can imagine is my level of commitment to becoming the person I need to be to achieve everything I want. From this moment on, I am 100% committed to my personal development. And it says, i.e., The Miracle Morning. So if you haven't read The Miracle Morning, I highly recommend that you get that book, The Miracle Morning, each day so I can create and sustain the levels of success that I truly want and deserve. I commit now to schedule and follow through today with the necessary actions that will ensure that I create the extraordinary life I deserve to live. From this moment on, I give up being perfect. Give up being perfect. For being authentic. I will be myself. I will love myself, and others will too. So to me, that's powerful. Like I say that to myself every morning, along with the other affirmations. So we have to say these affirmations to get rid of that stinking thinking. On top of that, just like when we talked with Michelle yesterday, seeing a therapist is okay too. Talking to a therapist, that's okay. We need to get those thoughts out and then examine it. Like, why do I think like this? Why am I like this? Or for me, why do you have so many businesses? Why do you feel like you have to save the world? Why do you want to do XYZ? So asking yourself all these why questions to really examine where those thoughts come from. And then the importance of living in the now. I realized in my conversation with Lola, the reason I could not see my level of success and where I am now is because I was comparing it to my goals of where I want to be. And it robs you of your accomplishments of today. So because my income or my monthly income goal was this number, and then I didn't hit that goal, I made this number, that still was a great number. But I couldn't accept that number. That number was still the highest I've ever made ever. That number was more than I made in a year in my first real job working at MPS, which is Milwaukee Public Schools. I worked at MPS and I made a certain number a year, a whole entire year. I made that in 1 month and I couldn't celebrate it. Why? I was not living in my now. I was living in my goal was to make that in a week. Well, let's accomplish first or acknowledge that before I can get that in a week, I made it in a month, and that is awesome. So I want to tell you to relish in the now. What is going great for you? What are some of the accomplishments that you made? If you filed your LLC and you've been wanting to do that for some time, that's a great accomplishment. If you went and you had your first sale, that's a great accomplishment. So we have to learn to live in the now and accept our, accomplishments for what they are in the now instead of thinking about always the future and not being able to be happy and having the joy of making that much money in 1 month. And so also this part right here of the imposter syndrome, it says to counter these feelings, you might end up working harder and holding yourself to even higher standards. And that's because we live all the way 5 years from now, 2 years from now, a year from now. We're not living in the now and enjoying the now and the accomplishments that we are doing now. So, my morning motivation for you is to live in the now, celebrate now what you had. What did you accomplish yesterday? That's amazing. And if you feel like you could have accomplished more, then today accomplish more. But you still did an amazing job. So I want you to live in the now and celebrate what is going great now. Do not let the future rob your joy of what's going on right now. And I had to stop myself from doing that. So, yes, I didn't make that monthly goal that I had. It was, still a lot. And she was like, do you know how much money, like, how many people don't make that in a month or even a year? And I had to sit and be still. And like, you're right. That's a good number. Even though my goal was to make that in a week, I'll get there. But let me celebrate myself for the work that I've done to get where I am right now. So celebrate yourself. Work on your positive affirmations. If you feel like it's not helping, seek out therapy. That is okay. But I want you to have the joy in building your business. There's joy there too. Yes, it's hard, it's a lot of work, but there's joy in those accomplishments. So make sure that you celebrate you and celebrate what you're doing and enjoy it. So I will see you guys in an hour for the morning session. Make sure you're there, make sure you invite somebody, and let's learn.